This woman stabbed her neighbor 41 times with an axe. Afterwards, she calmly took a shower at her neighbor's house before leaving. What kind of resentment would drive her to be so cruel? Candy was cheerful and outgoing, and was very popular in the community. Although her life seemed perfect, after many years of marriage, she and her husband had long lost their passion. To make matters worse, her best friend and her husband also drifted apart and eventually divorced. Shortly after the divorce, her friend started a new relationship. Watching all this, Candy couldn't help but envy. She wanted to rekindle her love with her husband, but he thought TV was more interesting.
Come on, just started.
Even when Candy deliberately read him some erotic poems, his first reaction was to admire the good rhyme.
She's really good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna get a shot again.
Okay.
Unsatisfied Candy can only comfort herself in the bath, but even this brief moment is interrupted by her husband's inability to find a wrench.
It's in the jar with the spare change.
Okay.
On the other side, her neighbor Betty is facing her own dilemma. Betty used to be a school teacher, but her strict way of discipline makes students uncomfortable. When the principal told her that she should not use detention as a punishment, Betty insisted that she was not wrong. The dispute eventually cost her her job. Back home, her husband Alan did not blame her, but Betty was afraid of losing his attention and told Alan that she wanted another child. Unexpectedly, Alan completely misunderstood her. The next day, he went to an orphanage and brought back a little boy. Betty had hoped to rekindle her love with Alan, but found herself busy every day taking care of 2 children. However, Alan was oblivious to her fatigue, and continued to do his own thing, treating the house as just a place to eat and sleep. As time went on, Betty fell into depression, and began to desperately seek Alan's attention. She would get angry when Alan's boss sent him on business trips, and she would repeatedly call his hotel when he was away. But these attempts only alienated Alan from her further. Instead of understanding her pain, he would unplug the hotel room phone or simply ignore it. When she returned home, Betty's suppressed anger finally exploded. She cursed the adopted boy. When Alan found out, he blamed Betty for abusing the child. The couple's lack of communication caused a growing rift between them. At the boy's birthday party, because of the invitation card, the mother and son had a fierce conflict. The boy shouted that he hated living here, he hated Betty. In the end, Betty decided to send the boy back to the orphanage. This decision made Alan completely frustrated. That night, Alan and Candy met. Both were members of the community volleyball club. Candy, long lacking in intimacy, was surrounded by male pheromones during practice. After practice, Candy got into Alan's car and bluntly expressed her desire.
Please don't say anything or I'm never going to get this out. But I find you attractive. And, well, I'd like to have an affair.